The Donald Trump-Elon Musk civil war has just escalated to its most shocking moment yet, with Elon officially declaring war on Donald Trump with an election bombshell he just posted on Twitter that not only will ruin the rest of Donald Trump's presidency, but is going to screw over the entire Republican Party for years to come. We are going to get into it all and what escalated, what caused this shocking moment. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work and independent media. Now, of course, Elon and Trump have been battling back and forth over Donald Trump's budget bill, but it was this latest threat from Trump, this latest decision, that escalated into Elon's official declaration of war. Air Force abandons project with Musk's SpaceX. The U.S. Air Force has abandoned plans to test hypersonic rocket cargo deliveries from a remote Pacific atoll using Elon Musk's SpaceX, a U.S. military publication has reported. The decision was made after Reuters reported that experts were concerned about the project, which would be based on the remote Johnson Atoll in the Pacific Ocean, would harm the seabirds that nest on the island. In response to that report, the Air Force has said it would conduct an environmental assessment, but it is now instead exploring alternative locations for the program. A spokesperson told Stars and Stripes a petition calling for the Air Force to abandon its plan had garnered more than 3,800 signatures by Wednesday. The proposed program involved test landing rocket reentry vehicles that are designed to deliver up to 100 tons of cargo anywhere on Earth within 90 minutes. The program would use commercial rockets, including those made by SpaceX, though no formal announcements regarding industry partners have been made. The program would allow the military to deliver supplies rapidly to any corner of the globe, with the Air Force noting that the current military modes of transportation require days to weeks of planning and logistics to provide materials to distant locations at the time and place of need. Johnson Atoll, an unincorporated U.S. territory some 800 miles southwest of Hawaii, is closed to the public and is under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Air Force. It is designated as a national wildlife refuge and is home to 14 species of tropical birds. So I think it's important to keep in mind as Trump and Elon go back and forth that Elon's problem with Trump's budget, his criticism of the bloat and the deficit and the waste, of course, was part of his public narrative, but really, more than anything, he was just furious with Donald Trump for not giving him unlimited subsidies so he could continue to steal and profit off our taxpayer dollars. It's the reason he just made a bombshell announcement about elections upcoming about Trump, but it's also the reason that he started to go to war with Steve Bannon, ultimately leading to this shock announcement. Elon Musk blasts fat drunken slob Steve Bannon will go back to prison, and this time for a long time. Elon Musk and Steve Bannon's public feuding shows no signs of slowing down, with Musk once again calling for Bannon to be thrown in prison. The fat drunken slob called Bannon will go back to prison, and this time for a long time. He has a lifetime of crime to pay for, Musk wrote in a July 4th Twitter post in response to Bannon blasting Musk's call for a new political party. The foul, the buffoon, Elmo the Moo, formerly known as Elon Musk, Elmo, he's today in another smear, and this, only a foreigner could do this. Think about it. He's got up on Twitter right now a poll about starting an American party, a non-American starting an American party, Bannon said about Musk's third party call. Musk has been publicly teasing forming a third political party as his relationship with Donald Trump has soured following Musk's work as a special government employee with Doge wrapped up. Musk and Trump launched into a war of words over Trump's big, beautiful bill, which Musk called an abomination that will only add to the country's growing debt. The poll Bannon referred to brought in more than 1.2 million votes, with around 65% backing Musk's idea for the American Party. Musk further explained one way to execute on this would be to laser focus on just 2 or 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House districts. Given the razor-thin legislative margins, that would be enough to serve as the deciding vote on contentious laws, ensuring that they serve the true will of the people. In a July 5th early morning Twitter post, Musk again called for Bannon to go to prison, something that's become fairly regular for Musk. So at this point, Elon's just pissed in general. He's mad, he's lashing out, and his idea of serving the will of the people is a little something strange coming from a billionaire who lobbies for only his special interest. But he is about to take that effort even further with the shock announcement that sets off to derail Donald Trump's entire presidency, officially launching his war on him right here. by a factor of 2 to 1. You want a new political party and you shall have it. When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the American Party is formed to give you back your freedom. So Elon Musk is making it official, starting the America Party. Whatever that means. I don't like to agree with Steve Bannon. It is a little weird that Elon Musk, someone who is not from here, thinks that he can start a political party. Not to say that people who immigrate to the United States can't have our best interest in mind and serve the public as elected officials. They certainly can, but to start a whole new American political party seems a little bit strange, especially when that American political party is only serving your interest as someone who clearly doesn't care about America. If Elon cared about America, he'd pay his taxes. He'd engage to improve the country. It looks like he's just trying to suck our blood like the corporate vampire that he is rather than contribute. Again, I don't want it to get lost. I don't think if you're not born in America, you can't come here and be prosperous as an elected official or someone contributing to our politics. That's certainly true. But what has Elon contributed? He's just taken and taken and taken, and now he wants to start a political party to take some more to make sure that the deciding votes are deciding votes in favor of subsidies for Elon, and then Elon doesn't pay any taxes. Yeah, I'm not really buying that. But this could be, as Elon describes it, an effort to sway 2 to 3 House or Senate seats. That is directly going to eat into a very, very tight margin, not in the House or Senate, but in House or Senate races, where Democrats face quite a difficult map in the Senate in these upcoming elections. If Elon launches a campaign in Texas, where he currently lives, that could be what decides whether or not that state goes blue or red, because Elon's ultimately just going to be eating into Republican vote. So go for it. Make sure you do it in Maine as well, man. Make sure you're doing it all across the country. This sounds great. I'm thrilled. I think this is a fantastic idea. Just keep screwing them over. I'm fine with it. And at the same time, I don't think we should forget about the damage that Elon has already done. I think we have, in many ways, forgotten about one of the most harmful elements of his time with Doge and the billionaire takeover of our government. That was detailed by Rep. Dan Goldman. We got to keep focusing on Palantir.
Now recognize the gentleman from New York, Mr. Goldman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I think you raise a very interesting point, Mr. Jordan, Chairman Jordan, wanting to make sure that a warrant is obtained to search Americans' data. So I recognize we're here focused on the Cloud Act, and it's an important issue. I don't dispute that. But in the times we're in, this seems quaint and intellectual, academic discussion. And in reality, what we're dealing with is an administration, current administration, that is trying to categorize, gather, and streamline data of Americans given with access by a private company. Now, let me explain a little bit, and I want to ask some questions. Many of you, I'm sure, have heard of Palantir, which is a large data company, has a lot of connections to Elon Musk, to Doge. And in March, Donald Trump issued an executive order that would increase the sharing of all unclassified data between and among federal agencies. It directed agency heads to authorize and facilitate both the intra- and inter-agency sharing and consolidation of unclassified agency records. Now, a New York Times report in May outlined in great detail how the president has employed Palantir to carry out this executive order, essentially to merge all data from all different executive branch agencies into one single database. Now, it's unclear who would control that database, who would have access to it, what searches would be done, and there seem to be no guardrails about that. Another New York Times article says that the administration, that this database would have 314 different points of data about every American. Literally every American, 314 various categories of data will be consolidated into one database by a private company, Palantir. Now, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle often express concern about government surveillance, about ensuring that we get search warrants in the context of 702, which is a small universe of already obtained information that we know are communications with people of interest from of foreign nationalities. Here, we just have every American's data put into one database with no guidelines, no restrictions. We don't know what Palantir is doing. We don't know what Doge is doing. We don't know what Elon Musk is doing. It essentially creates a one-stop shop for all Americans' data, which, as we're talking about cybersecurity, I'm sure you all agree that creates a tremendous cybersecurity risk if China or Russia were to hack this. Now, the chairman of this committee has said in the past, quote, Congress has struggled, of this subcommittee, Mr. Biggs, Congress has struggled for 4 years with a corrupt presidential administration, meaning the Biden administration, that further expanded the opportunities for the government to spy on its citizens. So, there was nothing in the Biden administration that approximates this collection of data, this opportunity for the government to spy on its citizens. And I'm not even talking about breaking laws under the tax code and sharing tax information with immigration enforcement agencies. I'm not even talking about sharing the tax information or Social Security Administration information. This is just every piece of data that is out there in the government's control, consolidated with one private company and one database. And so I would ask my friend, Chairman Biggs, to think about whether, if you are truly worried about government surveillance, why are we not doing any oversight of Palantir, its contracts with the government, its consolidation of all Americans' personal information into one database and the cybersecurity risks? And I really hope, in all seriousness, that you will do oversight over that if you do truly care about government surveillance of citizens. And I yield back.
Sure, Elon seeks to do more damage to Trump, but the damage he did in the White House, along with his billionaire buddies like Peter Thiel, is not something that we can overlook. And I feel like this Palantir story is one that has been moved on past far too quickly. We're going to keep bringing it up. If you want to get that news every single day on this channel, of course, you can subscribe, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.